Anthony Joshua has been injured. That is correct. You are reading this video title 100% right. Your eyes are not playing tricks on you. We wish it wasn't true. But there's been a lot of things going on in the world of travel, and I figured I'd bring it to your attention. I recently came upon this article today. Just recently woke up, saw it. I was like, wow, this can't be true, right? Saw the source, verified it from a few places, even seen a video, which I'm going to play here shortly. And I saw Anthony Joshua was injured. Now, what I realize is we have to be thankful for every moment because your life can change at any time. Remember, he just got done boxing Jake Paul, right? Won all this money, beat Jake Paul, etc. If you don't know, for people who don't know, he has origins in Nigeria. So he was going back to Nigeria where his people were from, even though he's British, but you know, his ancestry is back there. And unfortunately, he got into an accident. There were some people who described it on the scene, and I'm going to read the words that they listed here. But first, let's play this particular video. There is a warning here as far as, hey, this may be sensitive, but the good thing is it doesn't show anything explicit because there has been a lot worse things that happened during this. But let's just play this real quick. So it starts off like in a picture form, and then what you're going to see is the aftermath, right? And then you're going to see people assist him, which is great. It's good. People, you know, they didn't sit around, hey, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. They actually tried to help the gentleman. But let's go. So what I'm thinking, the people are thinking, hey, he's responsive. He's looking here, he's looking there. You know, I don't see any, like, you know, blood on him. He's somewhat moving. So I think they're like, okay, it's not super urgent as far as let's just pull him out. Because what you're going to see here is they kind of made sure things were out of the way first. They moved a couple things. They were trying to be gentle with him. Let's go. Fair use, fair use, fair use. See, and look at this. Look at this act of service. The dude, he sees what's going on. Not only is he pushing stuff out of the way, he actually gets in the car, right? After the accident, he gets in the car. Hey, what's going on? You need some help? Let me try to move you, etc. So I respect that deeply, right? How many people would actually do that? As you can see, there's a big crowd around trying to see what's going on, right? You know, people say a lot of negative things about certain countries and certain regions, especially if they're not on the top of people's travel list. But you'll see there's going to be good people wherever you go. Doesn't matter, right? People like to paint certain narratives. But look at all these people who gather around to help him, call the ambulance, see what he needs, etc. Try to gently pull him out, because what you're going to see here in the next clip is it ended up being more than one person. Even though the one person initiated it, others had the follow-up. And I'm like, I like that, right? I'm glad they were able to step in there. You can see the pain in his face. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but they're saying they have nothing on you. They have nothing on you. So it sounds like they're trying to hype him up. For those people who don't know, in Nigeria, they do have the local languages, Yoruba, things like that. But in school, especially the younger generation, they do actually learn English, right? So they speak English very fluently. It is like a, how do I explain this? It's like the language is English, but the dialect is kind of interesting because it's like if you met someone maybe from, you know how they have Pig Latin, right? So it's an English, but it's a form of English. It's like when we hear it, it's gonna sound different, right? That's the best way I can explain it. It's kind of it's like an altered version, but you understand what they're saying. But the way they do the structuring, it's not that it's bad. It's just different. If you have friends from Nigeria, you know what I'm talking about.
Bros, what do they find?
And that is that for that. Now, the unfortunate part is, according to the witnesses there, even though he survived, unfortunately, there were at least 2 people who were unalived. I wish it wasn't like this, but we got to keep in mind every moment in life is a great thing. We sit here and complain about our job, complain about the traffic, complain about the argument we just had, but remember, your life can change at any moment. We got to be more appreciative, practice more gratitude, and I promise by you doing that, more positive things are going to be coming into your life. By the way, shout out to Africa. You know, I plan on going to Africa either 2026 or 2027. But let's see what this gentleman has to say, right? Because this gentleman here is saying, hey, I was there at the time this happened, you know. Now, look at this reporting here. A gentleman says Joshua has spent most of last year in Nigeria because it's a place where he doesn't have to be Anthony Joshua, says BBC boxing expert Steve Bunce. And this is one thing I was looking at too, like people who get a certain level of fame. It's like, where do they go for peace? So this was his peace. So according to this eyewitness, at the time of the accident, allegedly, they're saying, hey, there were some people who were unalived, but also they were going at speed. So even when you go at speed, things can get dangerous. So be careful, everyone. Be careful. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm just trying to let y'all know. But this is the eyewitness here, according to BBC. And he says, an eyewitness has told the BBC about the moment of the crash. Mushbai described seeing 4 cars coming from Lagos, Nigeria's largest city. The cars were speeding and trying to navigate and hit a truck parked in front of our shop, he tells BBC Pigeon. Okay, I apologize. I misread it earlier because actually here he said it's speeding. But when I read the article, it may have been the other article, it mentioned how they were at speed. Now it's saying they're speeding. So, but he says, he says 4 people were inside Joshua's car. Joshua was trapped inside the car for about 20 minutes. He says, we saw him and said, he is our glory here in Nigeria, and we went to rescue him. He walked out by himself, greeted the crowd, thanked people, and shook hands. Okay, this just broke. Yeah, so they must have altered it because y'all seen how when I had it on the screen, it was a whole page. Now look, it's broken into sections, subsections. So I don't know, BBC may have just changed this, which I'm gonna be honest with you. There were some rumors that BBC was doing some funny things when it comes to the news. But now they broke it into sections. That's interesting. So I'm learning as y'all are learning. It says UK Foreign Office urgently investigating incident in Nigeria. It's unfortunate this happened, but I didn't think UK would have the ability and or power to investigate this. Like, what's their investigation going to come to? That's kind of interesting. But anyways, it says the UK Foreign Office has told the BBC it's urgently investigating reports of road incidents in Nigeria involving at least one British national. A spokesperson said it stands ready to offer consular assistance if requested. Our thoughts are with those affected, with the family. They added, local media outlet The Guardian is reporting that 2 Britons have unalived in the car accident. The BBC has not independently verified that. Okay, at least they're being honest this time. They're saying, hey, this is what we're hearing, but we haven't verified it. Earlier, it's funny because I wish I would have screenshot it. It's crazy how things could change just within minutes. Because earlier, the BBC, the news, of course, was saying that, hey, there was 2 to 4. What's the word? The terminology they use. It's the people who work for the consulates. But the words escaped me. I apologize. But they're saying there's 2 to 4. Now they're saying there's 2 Britons, and they're not sure if they're actually there. So it's just crazy. Conscious in touch with his family. So it's good he's in touch with his family. Nigerian president expressed sympathies after fatal crash. Yeah. It's very sad. Gives thumbs up, lets him know he's okay. Yeah, they just changed this. Okay, so this is apparently what they hit here. You can zoom in a little bit. But this is apparently what they hit. According to BBC, if it's accurate, this was stationary. And now they're saying the car was speeding. It's funny because earlier they were saying it was at speed. But now they're saying it's speeding. And I guess it hit this. Which you can see the injuries on this. Wow. That's crazy. I mean, I can't imagine how he feels. Car accidents are just scary. And then once someone else is driving, I'm telling you, as someone who's been in a few accidents, thankfully nothing serious happened to me each time. But when someone else is driving and they get in a car accident, you almost like, it messes with you psychologically. Like, you may feel like, I want to drive all the time now because I don't trust anyone else, right? But yeah. Ooh. That thing's pretty tore up. Traveling over the speed limit and overtaking another vehicle when it crashed. No audio. Yeah, you can just see the pain in his face. Thankfully, for him, it says he had minor injuries. I read a report that mentioned his were minor, but yeah, my condolences to the family. A truck that broken down. Yeah, so it looks like it is confirmed that it was the truck was actually standing there because we have multiple sources stating that it was a truck that was just sitting there. But look at this. Now they're saying 10 minutes. But this is a different witness. And, to defend BBC in this particular case, a different witness. So 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Life is much more important than boxing. That is correct. So, as y'all know, this is him, right? And he recently defeated Jake Paul. I believe he said it broke his jaw twice or in 2 different areas. I want to say it was like a 90-something million payout. Yeah, that's sad though. Nigerian heritage, see, yeah. See, and this can inspire people when they see someone who's famous, wealthy, multimillionaire come back to their place of origin, it inspires people. Look at all these children in the background who are looking at him like, wow, this guy is super rich. He's super successful, world known. He's from our place. If he can do this, we can do this. I'm telling you, as someone who used to be a kid, I know how these kids are thinking. Some of them, at least. They see this and they get inspired. When I was a kid and I saw people who, had a level of fame or had a level of success, I'm like, man, I can do it. Or, hey, it shows you that there's good people out there, right? Because some people, let's say, hit a certain level, they don't show any appreciation. They kind of just duck off, do their own thing. This guy's coming back to Nigeria. Look at him. Smiling, big smiling. The kids in the background. Look at this kid right here. He like, hey. They're being inspired. It's well known. He's from Southwest Nigeria. Okay. Shout out to Nigeria. And this was just recently he beat Jake Paul. I want to say it was like a week ago. Yeah. Received 2 minor injuries. Yeah, 2 minor injuries. The car crash came as a shock to the family. We were hoping for a speedy recovery and also the people who passed away. I pray for the departed to rest in peace, the relative adds. Yeah, days after the fight. What did I just say? Okay, it was the 19th, so it was about 10 days ago. Yeah, he just defeated him. That's so sad. Oh, I guess this road has a reputation. It says it's one of the deadliest. Sad. But yeah, Yahoo reported as well under the sports section. They talk about how Anthony Joshua injured and 2 other people unfortunately have been unalived. Here it says boxing star Anthony Joshua has taken to hospital on Monday after being rescued from wreckage of a car crash in Nigeria, which 2 men traveling with him were unalived. Talks about the SUV, etc. Got some photos here, the ones that just went around. And then they actually have the location, right? So this lets you know, Lagos is like the big city, the capital city, right? Right there on the water. And this is the highway that they're referring to. And you see it all the time, man. Anytime you're in a big city, London, San Francisco, Tokyo, whatever, when there's traffic, people are just trying to get out, man. It's like, it's very unfortunate, but yeah. So this is what the car looks like. Yeah. I wish him the best. Wish him and everyone else the best. But yeah, I just want to bring that to y'all attention. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Be thankful. Be very, very thankful.